Hello everyone, welcome to the next session of the training. In this session what we will see is how to get input from Excel and extract based on the input some specific data from the table. So far what we have seen is we have extracted the entire table into Excel. So let's assume that we want to extract a specific portion of the SAP table. Then how do we get this information? So for this also we will continue using our existing sample program so that it will be very easy to understand the use of the need of why we need to extract this kind of information. Okay, this is our existing program and this is the status right now. Right now what is our problem is right now we have country which is a country code DEUS. DE for actually DE is for Germany, US is United States, but we want the actual name of the country there. So how do we get this information? This information is not available in table T001. Actually this information is available in a different table which is T005T. Let us go back, and if you go to T005T, okay, we have the informations here. Okay, so if we can to make it, because this have quite many languages, that's the reason it's not looking nice here. So let us go back to SE16, our table browser. You can directly say /n SE16, then it will directly take you to that transaction code 2005T. This is our table. First one what we have is actually the language. We can select the language. Let's say we want only English, and then we can see the execute. Then you can see this is the land, that is the country code, and this is the country name. Okay, let's say DE for Germany, and you can see the land name, and this is the language which is used and all other information. We are only interested in the country name. Okay, let's go to SE37 now. SE37, because we need the field names. T005T, execute, and we have quite number of fields. Okay, so we have language key and the country key and the country name. Now here if you see in the complication right now what we have is we need, there is for one specific country this available in different languages, but we need only English. Okay, so how do we do that? Now if I want to see from this entry, let's say I want to see only Germany, that is DE, on English. Now if you see in our function module, if you execute, we get 7103 entries. Instead of this, what I wanted to see only the country which I would like to see. That is, for example, let's say for example I want to see only Germany, which is country code is DE. In our this one I wanted to see only DE from this table. So what is country code? Country key is this one. This should be some value. So let me note it down somewhere in the notepad. Let me note it down in the notepad. So this one is for country code. This should be English, that is E. You may think why it is E not EN. We can see that. Let's say land that is a country code, that is DE. I can show you why this is E, because if you go to our SE16 /n SE16, if you type /n SE16, you can directly come to the table browser. You see here we selected EN, okay, but when you execute, the output is only E. That's the reason we are just calling this one, because this will be the output what we will be getting from our function module. Why we got it EN, that is again little more into programming side. That's because of it's coming from the table view of this specific table view. Okay, let's go to our table, execute. Okay, we need T007, sorry, 5T, which has these two values. Okay, I want to see only Germany. So this we can achieve using a very simple code which you can write in this optional by select here and say LAND1 like in single quote DE. It means it will select only the value DE from this field. Okay, go back and execute. Now if you see, you have only 29 entries, and you have 29 entries in different language. Now if I say I want to see only English, then here I will say and SPRAS like E. Okay, go back, execute again. Now I got only one entry. So like this we can filter it. Okay, so we will use this technique in our program also. So let us go back to our program. Okay, this is the two fields which we want to use, and here we are. Okay, so in order to start this program second round of execution, so what we are going to do is we are going to call the same function module, and we will call a different table. Okay, so what we will do first, let us clear the function module, whatever we had. Now we are going to get the country name, same like what we did before. We can remove the values from this function module. Okay, let us remove the values first, the best option. Okay, then we give a export our table. Okay, so RFC dot exports query underscore table is equal to T005T. Okay, this is our table. Okay, here now we are going to read the table. So we need to read the table with the specific value what we have already defined, right? What we have already seen, same like only this country code, and we need only English, and we don't want to read everything. So what we can do is we can add an option, same like what we did in our function module. We will do the same thing here. RFC dot tables dot then options, then we say rows dot add to add a row to that specific field. Then we will input the keys, that the small code what we have written into this row. So the value which we keyed in, that we need to get it from this Excel sheet one by one, right? So we need to have a loop. So we need to get the input from here, and we have so many information. So let's start a new loop. Let's say for I equal to 1 to total records. We already know how many times we need to repeat, so we have total records. Okay, and this has to end with for next I. So we have a new loop. Now the reason why we are doing this, because we need to loop this exercise quite many times. So to input this value, what we need, that we need to get the country code. Okay, so the company country is coming from this cell right here, ws underscore company dot sales dot sales, then that is second row, that is I plus 1, that is 2, comma, it is on fifth column, 1 2 3 4 5, fifth column. When we execute this command, the country code will be DE. Then we got the DE, which we need to add it in this specific value. Now we got the country code. Now we can add it here. Now let's add it here. So RFC dot tables, then inside options dot value, then we need to specify the value 1 comma then text. That is, as you've seen in our function module, we need to specify the small code here. Yes, SPRAS, that is the language. SPRAS, that's a language here, like small bracket single quote E, right? Then what we did is we said and LAND, land, like make it a little more bigger. Now we already have the value here, as a variable. So to link this one, this is a string, one whole string. Okay, let me make it a little more bigger. It's a whole string. To link this, we add the ampersand sign, then I insert the variable, okay, then ampersand, then again I have to close this single quote. So I put one more ampersand and single quote, small quote and double quote. So this will close our statement, same like what we did inside SAP. So it's a very small code which you need to write. So you can combine this variable. So whenever you run, every time this variable can change based on the input which is coming from your Excel sheet. So that is our objective. Our objective is that we want to take the input from Excel, that country as an input, and use that input in our function module and get the result. Okay, now we got this one. Now let us get the result. So we will also do the same thing like before. We will use an if condition. If r of c dot call equal to true, then, and if, then what we can do is we can simply replace the country, this column with the output country name, right? So let me company country name is equal to, again we will use the same method like before, mit rfc dot tables dot data, and here what we can do is we can say 1 comma wa, because anyway we are getting only one row since we already filtered here. So 1 comma wa, then starting length, that we need to go to our SAP and check the starting length of country name is, instead of 7 we will say 8 comma 15. Country name is 15 characters. Okay, 15. Okay, that's simple. So once we got this information, then we can replace our worksheet, our ws company dot cells dot row, which row, I plus 1, that is the second row of 5th column, is equal to company country name. Okay, the same variable here. So we took the information from the same cell and we got the name and we are replacing with the same cell. Okay, now everything looks fine. Let us try to execute our program. For that, what we will do, we can execute it from here. Otherwise, since we have this information here, then we don't know whether the first column is executing correctly or not. So what I will do is I will simply delete this one, delete this information. Let me select this and say delete. Okay, so now it's neat. Let's assume we don't have anything here and stop it here. Okay, now I press F5 and let us execute the first portion of our coding. Okay, done. Now we will come to the second portion of our coding. Say F8, 2 3 4 5, we added the value. Oh, there is something wrong, it didn't work. Call function is an issue, anything is incorrect. Okay, so instead of lant1 we only put lant. Okay, we cleared all the content. Let me execute it again. Okay, now the first portion of this program is executed. Then I will go back, then I will continue with F8. Let's say, okay, call the RFC. Now we got the country name as Germany. Okay, now country is getting replaced. Let me try one more record. Again Germany, then replaced. Now the country is US. United States getting replaced, so it's fine. Let me remove the stop mark and press F8. It's all change. Now you can see all the country name is changed as per our requirement. Okay, this a way we can get the input from the worksheet and execute the function module based on the input what we get from the worksheet, and you can save the output back into the worksheet or the same worksheet or a different worksheet. That's again up to your requirement. With this we are coming to the end of our session. Thank you very much for listening. I will see you in the next session. Bye bye.